So now that I finally was ready to start framing walls, I was so excited that once I started this sidewall, I couldn't stop and I worked in the dark until it was all done. I left it separated into two 12-foot sections to be able to lift it easier, and there is a window where they separate, so I couldn't frame that opening until it was up. You'll see that I got part of the front wall built here too, and once it was finished, I figured I'd lift the side wall and half the front so I wouldn't block access to the old part of the garage by building another one, because I was still working on bikes and I had to get in and out of the old part. So what do you think of this? Just threw this thing together to lift my walls. I don't know if it's going to work. Should work. Looks like it will. So I got a 1,100 pound boat winch right there, and I got the cable running up over the top of this, and there's a little pulley up there to stop any friction of the cable, and it runs down to the top plate. And I have some counterweight, which is 4 cement blocks at the back here. If that's not enough, I could add a few more. I'll see what happens. Well, would you look at that? It worked. Since I'm using rough lumber, I have to square up both ends. It's a little time consuming, but I have to do it. See? Not square. So I got the wall all marked where everything's going. I got all the studs marked on the 16s. The jacks and everything marked for the header. So now I can go ahead and start putting it together. So what I'm going to do is set the one end up on the blocks, and then I have those sawhorses out there. I'll set the top edge there. And it's a little hard to get it started because it's always trying to fall over and stuff, but once you get the few pieces nailed on, it goes pretty good after that. Not bad. You'll see when I pick up each stud, I'm looking down it to see if there's a bend in it or a crown. And the main thing is you just put the crown all the same way so that your ball's not in and out too much. You won't really notice it then after, because all the wood is bent a little bit. There's nothing you can do. But this rough lumber is pretty good. It's not twisted as bad as bottom lumber, I found. It was pretty good. Most of the pieces are fairly straight. So here I'm measuring for the door header, and it's a 12-foot door, but to have it that wide and the header sit on the jacks on either side to support the weight of the header and the weight of the roof above it, it has to be wider. So I got 2 by 10, 14 feet long for this, 2 per doorway. So I'm cutting that now. So you notice here I put this nail in and I check it, and I stop because the header is passing the plate underneath. So I gotta lift the header up somehow. So what I did here is I just grabbed the rock and I lifted the wall a bit and I put that rock under the header itself, let the wall back down, and what happened was it pushed the header up and made it flush. And now it's good, I can nail it. So just do what you gotta do, whatever works really. Blade's getting a little dull here by this point. Starting to not want to cut straight. So you see here, this stud I had left it unnailed at the top, and the reason for that is just to leave enough room to nail the side of the header. So sometimes I won't put them in, or I'll put it in, I'll just nail the bottom, I'll just swing the top over just to keep it out of the way, so I can, if it's close to where the king stud is for the header, makes it a lot easier to get some good nails in the side of the header if that's not in the way. And it was a little twisted, so here a little angle nail on the top corner after the bottom's nailed was a long way. You could straighten it out quite a bit just with some well placed nails. So now for some sill gasket, throw that on, and I'm ready to lift. Now I did drill the plates out already where the bolts are. You just got to make sure you do that before you lift it, because it sucks getting it half up and realizing you don't have your holes in the plate. So I quickly got tired of hand cranking the walls up, so I just took the winch off my trailer and I bolted that on. And I'm going to use that instead. Should go a lot easier and quicker. So I just got the battery on charge, got that hooked up. It's all ready to go. All I'm going to do is push the button. So I'll grab this 2x6 here, and I'm going to throw it on the outside of this wall for a brace. I'll just dig it into the dirt a little bit and nail it on. And this is just temporary. I'm going to put one the opposite way, but I have a short wall here to build on top of these blocks. So once I build that on the ground, I'll square it right on the floor, and I'll put a brace on it. So once I lift it up and I nail the front wall to that wall, that should hold it pretty good. And I'm not leveling anything right now. There's not really any point. I see a lot of people building, as soon as they get one wall up or one post or something, they put a whole bunch of braces on it. And it's a lot easier to just level it after. So there you go, that's my progress up until this point. So the highest walls were going to be the hardest to do, and I'm glad those were done. I was able to do them all by myself. So the next thing is going to be the lower part on the right hand side, so I'll be doing that in the next video.